Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's live stream where it has been announced by Nationwide that house prices have dropped, according to them, for the first time since June or July last year, I believe. So, this stream we're going to talk about what Nationwide have to say, what's going on in the mortgage market, and then we're going to get into the question and answer session, which I know you guys love. So if you are interested in that, please stick around after this sort of brief little news bulletin on what's going on in the property market. If you don't know who I am, I'm Lee Everett. I've been selling properties for 20 odd years, so got my finger on the pulse as to what's going on in the property market, especially if you're in the southeast of England, sort of Essex sort of way, if you can tell from my Essex accent. Apologise for the voice. I seem to be getting a cold again, or man flu, but being a man, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to plough on through. So I'm going to try and share the screen. Got new software yet again. I'm trying to learn these things. So we're going to go over what Nationwide's latest report is saying. We're going to go through that. And we're then going to obviously go through what I've experienced in the last week since I last spoke to you guys. And we're going to go from there. But if you haven't already, please hit that like on the stream. Let YouTube know that what you're watching is potentially good or informative at the very least. So thank you very much, guys, if you've done that. So let's get into the report from Nationwide. I'm just going to get it up on my screen. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it or not. So let's see. Oh, look at that. It has worked a little bit. Right, so Nationwide, they produce monthly reports about what's going on according to them in the mortgage market and with house prices. And for the first time that I can remember anyway, since we've been doing these live streams, they have reported that house prices have actually dropped. Here we go, for the first time since July 2021. So well over a year, Nationwide are now pronouncing that they've noticed from their lending figures that house prices have finally dropped just short of 1% this month. So, that brings the average house price down from £272,259 to £268,282,000. So what's that? Around a £4,000 drop compared to last month. So yes, we are finally starting to see the effects of higher borrowing. All those sorts of things which have been going on, high cost of living, all those sorts of things are having an effect, at least with Nationwide's mortgage lending and their figures. So good to know what you guys are experiencing. Let's chat. Let's have a little chat amongst yourselves in the comment section. If you are watching on the replay, please look at the live chat because people ask some great questions and help each other out as well. And that is what we're building here, a nice community where we are helping each other. So, commenting on the figures, Robert Garner, Nationwide's chief economist, I can't say that word, said October saw a sharp slowdown in annual house price growth to 7.2%, down from 9.5% in September. Prices fell by 0.9% month on month after taking into account a seasonal effect, the first such fall since July 2021 and the largest fall since June 2020. So June 2020 is when the first figures came out after the lockdown, when the property market was closed for 7 weeks. So, and before that, a lot of people were getting a little bit scared that house prices were going to plummet as COVID got closer and closer to the UK. And in fact, it happened for a month when people were panicking, trying to sell before things potentially got worse. But after that, prices, as all you guys know, just started going up and up and up as people were racing for space and changing areas where they were living and all those bits and pieces. So they go on to say the market has undoubtedly been impacted by the turmoil following the mini budget. What a thing that was, which led to a sharp rise in market interest rates. Higher borrowing costs have added to stretched housing affordability, as I'm sure you know, at a time when household finances are already under pressure from high inflation. Yep, I think we could all relate to that, can't we? For example, the increase in mortgage rates meant that prospective first-time buyers, you guys, earning the average wage and looking to buy a typical first-time buyer home, which is around sort of the 250-ish sort of mark, with a 20% deposit, would see their monthly mortgage payment rise from 34% of take-home pay up to 45%, based on an average mortgage rate of 5.5, which is where they're hovering around at the moment. This is similar to the ratio prevailing before the financial crisis. And when they put stuff like that in there, it does make you wonder, Are they expecting it to be worse or to be at least the same of what happened then? We don't know yet. We don't know. The market looks set to slow in the coming quarters. Inflation will remain high for some time yet, and the bank is likely to raise the base rates. I think that's tomorrow. The Bank of England are meeting up. So hopefully, we'll get a bit more information on that. There is whispers that they might go up 0.75%, like what America did today, or maybe even as high as a 1% increase, which would really affect the markets. The outlook is extremely uncertain. So uncertain doesn't mean drop. It doesn't mean going up. Nobody knows. And much will depend on how the broader economy performs, but a relatively soft landing is still possible. So they're not ruling out a crash not happening. Okay, so we've got to listen to both sides of the story here. Yes, house prices have dropped by 0.9%, but most economists and bankers seem to be differ slightly. I think a couple of banks said last week that they don't think house prices are going to change too much from now. Some said a small drop. Some said they may even start to climb again at some point. And some other banks are saying, we just don't know. Longer-term borrowing costs have fallen back in recent weeks and may moderate further if investor sentiment continues to recover. Given the weak growth outlook, labour market conditions are likely to soften, but they are starting from a robust position with unemployment at a 50-year low. So I'm going to get rid of that. That pretty much tells us what we knew was going to happen, that the market is starting to sort of correct itself. Well, we've had 2 years of prices going like that. They went through that stage of going up slightly, and now they're sort of at that leveling off stage. And first of all, thank you for everyone who's liked the stream. If you just joined, please like the stream. It really helps the channel grow and get in front of as many people as possible. And if you're new here, please say hello, because we've got a lot of friendly faces and some regulars, which I will say hello to all of you very, very shortly. But what I was reading just before I started the live stream, which hasn't been widely reported, if reported at all, is NatWest, Virgin, Darlington Bank, and another bank actually reduced their mortgage rates for fixed products by as much as 0.6% over the last few days. And I think what we need to take, yes, we can listen to all the doom and gloom and the things which may affect prices crashing, but banks on the other hand are also quietly optimistic. They're reducing rates. Not all of them, but some banks, and we're talking big banks here, Virgin, NatWest. Do you know what I mean? These aren't sort of small players in the mortgage and financial world. They are actually reducing their mortgage rates to help people save 50, 60, 70, £100 a month on their mortgage payments. So do look out for those deals, which is why speak to a mortgage broker. I spoke to the mortgage broker that I recommend, which I think Taki spoke to earlier this week. There seems to be a little bit more optimism in the lenders' eyes anyway. We've spoken to a few lenders, the underwriters, and they're noticing things looking okay. But again, that could all change. But yeah, so we have seen house prices drop according to Nationwide. I need to dig out the Halifax report and bits and pieces like that, which we'll probably do next week. But yeah, the market is seemingly starting to soften. Not crash yet. It may not crash. It may crash. But at the moment, things are starting to soften, which is what I know I pretty much said months and months ago. We're going to start seeing prices sort of level off and maybe have a wiggle effect. Some months they may drop, some months they may stay the same. And that seems to be what's happening right now. But we can't rule out anything because we live in a crazy world, don't we, guys? So hope you found that informative. And I'm going to try and struggle to get through the comments like I did last week. Leo, where are we? Let's pop that up there, shall we? Good evening to you. Pop that there. Taki, how are you doing, sir? I literally yesterday morning I had a sore throat. Seemed to get through it. A lot of orange juice. This morning woke up, sore throat again, and as the day went on, my voice got more and more croaky, which some of the people I was speaking to on the phone didn't actually recognise who I was, which was quite upsetting. Evening, Leo, Liz. Welcome. Alex, welcome back. Good to see you. Paul RS. another regular. Loving the people coming back. Thank you so much. And Taki, thank you for recommending the mortgage advisor. He was really helpful. Yeah, I mean, I need to reply to your email, but yeah, he's fantastic. And I spent about 20 minutes on the phone to him on Saturday talking about the mortgage market and how he's finding things and stuff like that. So he's a really, really great mortgage broker. So if you are interested in speaking to a good independent mortgage broker, then please get in contact, guys. How do I move down here? Abaid, hello everyone. Hello, my friend. Welcome. So I noticed there was some more comments, but I can't. There we go. Can't seem to get to it. Albie, how are you doing? I am well. Even though I don't sound it, I'm doing well. Penny Pap, welcome to the stream. Noise voted yes on the poll. So if you haven't voted on the poll, has this month's or last month's, it's going by September's figures, dropped by 0.9%. Has that made you feel more confident in buying a property? Yes or no? We'll have a look at the the results at the end of the stream. But Noise voted yes, but then you forgot the Bank of England will shaft your hopes yet again. Hopefully not. I mean, what the mortgage broker I spoke to said that he believes that when the mini budget happened and banks started raising, or the Bank of England raising interest rates, banks started raising their mortgage rates a lot more than what the bank were putting theirs up. Now, they started doing this months and months and months ago. So before we started seeing the 0.75, 0.5% increases in mortgage rates. So my broker seems to think, or has an inkling, that maybe even if the Bank of England rate goes up, banks have already factored that into the current interest rates. Now, I could be wrong. He could be wrong. But if they do go up by 0.75% tomorrow or 1% tomorrow, depending on what paper you read or what person you listen to, there is a growing consensus amongst mortgage brokers anyway that banks won't automatically pass that whole increase on to lenders and to borrowers. So we could see that although the base rate goes up tomorrow, some lenders may not increase their standard variable rate or their fixed rates by as much, if at all. So that would be great if that happens. If banks have already worked out, right, we can see interest rates going to 3, 4, 5%. If we put our rates up to this point now, then got that initial shock, and then people start getting used to those rates. And then if inflation starts to come down, we can then start bringing our mortgage rates down as well. That's what I hope's happening. I don't know whether it will or not. But you know me, I like to be a little bit optimistic. Certainly. Well, optimistic, but sometimes a realist. You said too soon, banks lowering their interest rates. Wait till the Bank of increase. What do you think is going to? Well, I think I've just touched on that, Alex. From what my mortgage broker has said, he thinks that banks have already factored in a potential high Bank of England base rate. So I know I said that they've started to bring down rates, but would they do that knowing that the Bank of England are going to increase rates anyway if they hadn't already pre-planned and thought about how far rates are going to go up? So I see it as a little bit counterproductive to reduce rates a couple of days before they knew weeks ago that the Bank of England rate would go up. But yeah, I mean, if I hadn't have heard that rates were going, that lenders may have already factored in a higher than already interest rate, I know exactly where you're coming from. Michael Nees, welcome to the channel. Don't think I've seen you before. We sold our leasehold masonette back in May. The buyer pulled out 2 weeks ago, managed to remarket and sell 2 days to a cash buyer for the same price. That is fantastic news. And it'll be great to know whereabouts in the country you are, Michael, because I know that some parts of the UK are doing exceptionally well still in terms of house prices. We've had quite a few reductions happen in my town the last week since I last spoke to you guys. A lot of people are being a bit more realistic in what they're going to be asking for prices. It's like some agents, and I've done a video on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok now, follow me, at Everett Property, I think it is, about agents overvaluing still because they think it's still 2021. And now those owners are reducing to the price they should have put it on the market for originally. A lot of that's happening in my town. But I'm so pleased that you managed to get the price that you got last time, and for a cash buyer as well. So yeah, let's give you a round of applause. Hope you can hear that. Michael goes on to say, our mortgage expires midway through December, although that has now been extended to the 1st of January. with a 15-day grace period. I don't want to lose my 2.45 year fit. Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose that. With your cash buyer, they can hopefully speed things up. Now, they could potentially buy your previous buyer's searches, any survey they had done. Your solicitor should have the management pack already, provided it's not out of date. Your buyer can also forfeit a lot of other things which another buyer that needs a mortgage may have to have, like searches and certain inquiries. So hopefully your buyer can sort of pull out all the stops and make sure they know, or their solicitor knows, or at least your estate agent knows, when your mortgage offer expires, because that would be quite daunting and unfortunate if that was to happen. AJ, hello, welcome back. Albie, one of my clients from my offering service, we managed to secure a property against other people. So I'm really pleased for him. Good news, valuation went through all good. Now time for the solicitors to do their thing. They reviewed the offer from the lender the next day. And Albie's using the solicitor that I recommend as well. He got 250 quid off using the company I recommend. So if you are interested in that, I'll put my email address in the description. You can drop me an email and I can put you in contact and get that discount going for you. Every time someone comments, I lose my space. Sonia, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Buckinghamshire. Anybody else in Buckinghamshire near Michael? What are prices doing? It might be very localised down his road or in their block, but if you're in Buckinghamshire watching, then yeah, let us know what you're experiencing with the market. Michael managed to get the same price he got back in May, which I think is great, absolutely great. So congratulations on that. GV, welcome. Put 4-bed detached up after mini budget. Had the usual busy first week. Refused 2 offers around home report. Agent phones died last few weeks, but picked up this week. Lots of viewings booked in this week. Yeah, we had a slow period. Our phones actually went down and our internet went down. So last Saturday. So we had a bit of a quiet couple of days. But when they came back up and running, we had quite a few inquiries still coming through, quite a few offers. October, if you remember from my last live stream, I said for me as a company was generally our best sales month. October was probably our 3rd or 4th worst sales month this year. So we still agreed quite a few deals, but in terms of it being as good as we hoped, that didn't happen, unfortunately. That didn't happen, but you never know. But September, we outsold what we normally do in September. So if you used to average the 2 months out, then probably we're still about right. Hopefully that trend continues. I hope that trend just continues. Let's get some more comments going. Sonia, I'm a first-time buyer. Our mortgage approved with a 3.93%, 5-year fixed about a month ago. Not sure, but someone advised us if it is a good idea to go back to the bank asking if they can revise the interest rate. What, are you hoping to get a lower interest rate or a higher interest rate? Because, yeah, what you could do is if you've actually got the lender that your product is with, you could go onto their website and see if the mortgage rates have changed. If you can find your deal still. If your deal's still there, you can perhaps find a cheaper one. But what I'd probably say first and foremost, Sonia, is to, if you're using a broker, speak to your mortgage broker, because there may be a reason that they've put you with that mortgage deal with that particular lender. Okay, so you may have, like my job, for example, my income, a lot of it, well over half, is commission based. So when I got my mortgage broker had to place me with a lender that took more of my commission into account. Like some lenders only take 25% of your commission, some lenders were taking a lot more. So there may be a reason why that particular lender is good for you at that particular rate. But it's always worth asking your mortgage broker. If you haven't got a mortgage broker, Sonia, let me know. Email me, Lee at leeeverett.property.co.uk. I can put you in touch with my guy, then he can search the market and see if that's the best rate. So I hope to go to a lower one. Right. Okay, so potentially there could be a lower interest rate, but before when does your AIP, is it an AIP or a mortgage offer, Sonia? I'm guessing you probably talk about a mortgage offer. If it is a mortgage offer, difficult to to answer without you speaking to your broker. But I'll certainly speak to your broker and see if it's worth going for a new mortgage, because that might mean a whole new application. Lending criteria might have changed, and you may not actually be able to afford the figure that you've actually been promised already. So yeah, definitely speak to your broker. Hello, Aaron. How you doing? Good news. Fantastic. Aaron, congratulations. Yeah, hope you can hear that noise. I can hear it. We've got some horns. Yeah. Some party noises as well. That's what I try to do to keep the stream interesting. You're more than welcome, Sonia. More than welcome. Aaron, whereabouts did you buy? Share with me your story. How long ago was it you put your offer in? How excited was you to get your keys, and any bumps in the road that you had that you needed to get over? Share with the guys. We've got a few people watching, 56 people watching. Share your experience with us. And last week I asked if anybody does want to come on to the live stream and discuss, chat, share your experiences. I would absolutely love for that to happen. Absolutely love to have that. That would be great to have a bit of an interview. Or if you want to record something and send it in with your experience in, or a voice note, anything like that, that'd be fantastic if we could do something like that. It sort of just changes things up a little bit, doesn't it? Like this little camera here. I'm getting better with technology. I'm getting better, although you can tell how much hair products I put in my hair from this camera. So let's go back to this one. So we've got some love for Aaron, Leo, saying congratulations. And Alex does not like the sound effect. I've turned them down. I'll turn them down a little bit more. Did that scare you last week, Alex, as well? Sorry about that. I've turned them down now. I've got to try and keep it interesting without breaking people's eardrums. Where are we? Juan, just moved into my new home. Thanks, Lee, for answering all my questions some time ago. You are more than welcome. I'm really, really happy for you. And against what Alex says, have a round of applause. Have a round of applause. Really pleased for you. Again, how long did it take? Now, you have to forgive me. I can't remember how long ago we may have spoke to. I may have answered your comment. I'm a man. I do have a crap memory. But yeah, how long ago did you put your offer in? And so we can work out how long things are taking. Because this is what I'm noticing at the moment is solicitors, lenders, and everyone in between are taking an absolute age at the moment. I've got deals that were agreed in March, only now just exchanging contracts. It's crazy how long things are taking. I don't know why, because there's half the amount of transactions going through the conveyancing system at the moment than what there was last year. People should be used to working more remotely now, shouldn't they? I mean, we've had 2 years of working from home and having to deal with more emails rather than posts and stuff like that. But yeah, things are taking an absolute age. And this is why I'm recommending the solicitor that was a conveyancer that I've been recommending for work as well, because I've not had to chase them once. I get 2 updates a week from them. Actually three. And I've not had to call them once to ask what's going on or to chase them up. And for me, that's been invaluable in keeping my vendors and my purchasers up to date. I've got a client at the moment who used my house buying service. I've been trying to get through to the solicitor that they're using, and I've had one reply in 2 months, and that was, "We will come back to you." And that's just not good enough. And I've tried probably 10 times to get an update from them. Absolutely incredible how the lack of communication with some conveyances is there at the moment. It's absolutely crazy. So if you are taking a little longer to go through, then you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people are experiencing the same. Isla, how you doing? Hello. Nice snowy profile picture there. Not getting that here yet, are we? Lee, you are really interesting without the sound effects. No need to overcompensate. You are good enough. I appreciate that, Alex. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Aaron, so bought in Milton Keynes, not too far away from me. Offer was put in around the 20th of July, accepted very shortly after. Process was good until the restricted covenants came up, but I eventually got it sorted. I exchanged and completed on Monday. Perfect. So July, August, September, October. That's not bad. You've done really, really well. I'm guessing there probably wasn't a chain there with that one. So that was really good, Aaron. Really good. You are about 4.5 weeks quicker than the average sale. So I'm glad you're enjoying your new home sooner than some other people that may have already started to buy in July. Here we go. So, hello, how are you? Hi, Lee, been missing for a few weeks as we finally exchanged and completed a few weeks ago. Fantastic. I'm not going to do a round of applause because it might annoy Alex. So now in our new home, fantastic. It took a few months. Seems to be how it is these days. Don't give up. Great. So great words of wisdom. Don't give up. It is a long, drawn-out process which will take time. And if you can just stay patient, and if you want to vent your frustration every week on the live stream, ask some advice from me and the community. People like Sue who have bought, people like Aaron who have bought, are here to listen to what we've got to say and to share their experiences as well. So, don't give up hope, guys. It will happen. It will happen. Just got to be patient. And pick a good solicitor from the start. That'll be my advice. Pick a good solicitor from the start because they're absolutely invaluable. Invaluable. Give me food. Welcome back. How are you? After a painful and stressful 5 months and 20 days, we are finally. What a great week this is. Fantastic to see so many people exchanging and completing, getting through all of it. I'm really, really pleased with Give Me Food. And I hope you guys will come back every week as well and help other first-time buyers and other home movers with their problems and sharing your experiences as well. Because I think that'd be really good if you could share. Boyoon, hey Lee, we completed. Oh, excellent. Thank you for all your help. I only wish you started these live streams at the very start of my journey. It probably would have saved a few bob. I do have a question. Pop your question down, Boyoon. Let me know. I'm really pleased. This is a fantastic week, an absolutely fantastic week. Congratulations, everyone. If I do miss your comment, do apologise. Just write it again, and I will get to it. So for June, it was around 6 months. It took 6 months to finish the process. Mortgage lender took almost 6 weeks to issue the mortgage offer. I decided to move to Dartford, lovely town in development. Oh, lovely. Dartford, again, not too far away from me. I'm in the north of Essex, so you're about an hour away from me. So, pricey around there, though. That close to London. But well done. I've got to take some drink, guys. 1 second. Sorry if you can hear me swallowing. Not nice. Penny Pat, great question. If house price drops, does the Help to Buy amount reduce as well? Yes, it does. So I've done a video, must be about 2 years ago, how to pay back the Help to Buy equity loan. So the amount you borrow isn't a fixed amount of money. So if you borrow £20,000, let's keep the figures nice and simple. You borrow 20% of a £100,000 new build house. If house prices go up by 10%, then you'll owe an extra 10% on your Help to Buy equity loan, so £22,000. If prices drop, it goes down 10%, then you'll owe 10% less. Okay, so what will happen is now might be a good time to remortgage if you do have the Help to Buy equity loan. If prices are potentially coming down, then the amount you pay back to is it Target may be less, but speak to a mortgage broker first, Penny. But yeah, in theory, yes. If your house value has dropped, the amount you pay back to the Help to Buy people will have also dropped. So yeah, plan when and how much you want to pay off quite thoroughly and quite carefully. Aaron, because you didn't exchange till I've bought nothing, so I have to buy all my... Right, so Aaron, so I'm guessing from that, you would say that exchanging and completing on the same day can catch you by surprise, okay? Most people, when you exchange, buy a house, you'll exchange and then you'll complete a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. So Aaron, reading between the lines, his advice would be maybe have an exchange and complete so you've got time to buy furniture, sort out your utilities and stuff like that. So I think that's a great little bit of advice. If anybody else has any advice for anyone on this channel, please pop it in the comment section. Share if you've bought recently or are buying a house and wish you'd done things different or anything like that. Let the guys know, because we've got some people at the very beginning of their journeys who could really do with some insight on how to do things. And again, guys, if you haven't liked the stream, if you could give it a thumbs up, that'd be absolutely fantastic as well. Absolutely fantastic. We're at 30 likes, 71 people looking, so if we can have a few more likes, that'd be really appreciative. Thank you. Let's try and get the comments back to where we were. Not a good one, but I look at it. One less car V1. Had our hopes dashed yesterday of completing before Christmas when we found out that the sellers are waiting for a leasehold management pack. Do you know how long this can take? Unfortunately, one less car. You're in the hands of the management company with that. Usually, the management pack would be requested very early on in the transaction by the seller's solicitor. So the one they're buying solicitor either hasn't done their job properly by ordering it sooner rather than later, or the management company are extremely, extremely slow in getting that information together, or the owner of the property may not have had the money to pay for it, because they can be £300, £400, £500, £700 to produce a management pack as well. So it could be a couple of weeks, it could be a few days. Some companies just press a button and the whole information is printed out and it can be sent over, but sometimes it can be a couple of weeks. I hope it comes soon for your one less car, and I hope you come back next week with some bit better news, unfortunately. Leo, I'm loving the success stories. Well done, everyone in the chat. It must feel so good. I know when I bought my first place, fantastic feeling. And we have this chat every week. What's your first meal? Aaron, what was your first meal in your new house? Hey, was it fish and chips like it was for me? What was it? I like hearing what people are gonna have for their first meals. No clue how to do the council tax, electricity, gas, water yet, so I'm still learning. Council, you should be able to go onto the local council's website and register that you've moved in and how many people are in there, and they'll then send a bill to you. Electricity and gas, there's not many good deals out there. There's no good deals for electricity and gas, so just pick one that maybe your parents are with, sign up for them, and start getting that. But take meter readings. Make sure you take meter readings on the day you move in. That's a bit of advice from me. Water, you should be able to go onto your local provider's website as well, and get all signed up. Hope that helps, mate. It must feel good. Yeah, it is. Knowing you've got that security, owning a home, I think is absolutely fantastic. Especially if you've got a 5-year fixed rate mortgage where you know that the price is going to stay like that for 5 years. I think that's a great feeling. Albie, on average, I hear people take 4 to 6 months to complete. I don't know if I'm a lucky one, but it's been 5 weeks since day one and already 90% done. And why is that, Albie? Not only are you using me, shameless plug, but you're using the solicitor, the conveyancer that we recommended. And yeah, I know you've had pretty good things to say about them. So share. But no, your one's flying. Really, really great. I get updates as well from them. So I can see that you're flying along, absolutely flying along. Bojan, so your question was, the bathroom taps are leaking and the shower has a loud pumping sound that wasn't there when I checked during my viewing. It's extremely loud. They just left the probs to us. Anything I can do? Unfortunately, Bo, there isn't. You can ask your solicitor if the previous owner was aware of those problems, if there's any warranties or guarantees for the shower that was fitted or anything like that. But unfortunately, once you've exchanged contracts, you are legally committed to buy that property as it is. So that's why not having a massive, large amount of time between exchange and completion can be beneficial. Maybe exchanging and completing the same day, because you view it, it's exchanged and completed, you're straight in. It was as it is when you viewed it just before exchange of contracts. Sometimes if you exchange and have a 3, 4, 5, 6 week delay for completion, things can or do get wear and tear, don't they? Things do start to break. But I don't think there is anything you can do, unfortunately, Boa, because that will just go down as general property maintenance. I'd be very surprised if you can do anything. We have some people that leave places full of rubbish, and we advise guys to go and speak to their solicitor because it should be cleared. And the solicitor advises them, unless you're willing to go to a small claim court, which is going to cost you £300-400, you're best off just sorting the problem out yourself. Because, to get a leaky tap fix might be 50-60 quid. That large pumping noise, I'm not a plumber, but I don't think there's anything you can do. And I do agree with you. Why should you pay for this? You shouldn't have to, but unfortunately, there's no laws to say that the seller has to maintain the property after exchange of contracts. Not even during while you're buying it, unfortunately. But it's a horrible thing, and there will be more surprises, teething problems as you do move into your new home. That initial feeling of being a homeowner is great, but when things start to break and it's your responsibility to fix it, is a right kick in the teeth. And we got a new boiler in January, and that cost $2,500, and that was a right. Oh, could have done without that. Where are we? Azu74. If you're a cash buyer and buying a new build, how long will it take from start to completion? And a hi to everyone. So you would really, I'd imagine you'd like to think, if you're using a good conveyancer, and that's a key thing, you're both using a good conveyancer, cash buyer, new build, it could be anywhere from 6 weeks, anywhere up to sort of 3 months, depending on if the property's built, if it's been signed off, you've done all your final fixes and picture any sort of last things that you want to put into the property. But yeah, generally 4-6 weeks to around 3 months is the rough sort of time scale you're looking at. And Bowen, cheeky, yes, yes, yeah. I'm going to leave that there for a second while I have a drink. 1 second, guys. Right. So, Isla, the only house price drop I'm seeing in my area are ones that were overpriced. Anything decent house, still a bidding war against other buyers. Whereabouts are you, Isla? Whereabouts are you? Because we're noticing that as well. It's the initially overpriced properties. And you can spot them a mile off. It's been on the market 2, 3, 4 weeks. Overpriced. Simple as that. Then, yeah, they're ones which you're going to be looking at getting offers on or asking the agent if they're going to reduce their price. But interesting to see. Whereabouts are you? Because other people in the stream might be looking in your sort of area and experiencing the same or completely different. James has joined. Welcome, James. Offer accepted in mid-June and still waiting to exchange. Mortgage offer expiring in December. Getting worried. What stage are you at, James? If you're sort of 4-5 months into that now, you should be getting bloody close. Have you extended your mortgage offer already? Is there any way you could extend it as well? That might be something which you could speak to your mortgage broker about. But find out what stage you're at first, and then if there is some work to be done, make sure the agent you're buying through, the solicitor you're using, makes everyone aware of what your deadline is. Your solicitor will know when your mortgage offer runs out. They get their own copy. Excuse me. So yeah, they will know, but remind them, because they're not just dealing with your case. They'll have 50, 60, 100 other cases they're dealing with. So always worth a little reminder to see if they know your mortgage offer expires, and find out where the delay is. James, I urge you to ring the solicitors and estate agent 3-4 days a week. Otherwise, it'd be a very slow process. You shouldn't have to, though, Boa, should you? You shouldn't have to call them 3-4 times a week just to find out how things are going. They should come to you, at least an email once a week to say this is where we're at, or nothing new's happened this week, I'll be chasing again next week. That's what we do as agents. We haven't been able to get through to your solicitor, but we will keep trying. And once we've got some more news, we'll let you know. So a little bit of courtesy and communication goes a bloody long way. But yeah, some great advice from a homeowner. Keep chasing. Aaron hasn't moved in yet. Nothing is there. You can still have fish and chips on the floor. Some advice from him. When viewing a house, check under any posters, signs on walls and doors, because they can sometimes be hiding damage. Yes, I'd also say rugs or runners can sometimes hide stains or fag burns, rips. Yeah, that's something I learned quite early on when I was showing people around houses. And I was showing a buyer around an empty house. I remember it's clear as day. Had this pub carpet sort of rug on the floor. And this old chap who I was showing goes to lift it up. So, oh, what are you checking that for? He goes, just to see if there's any damage. Pulled it up. Huge burn. It was an iron burn in the floor of the carpet. And he goes, that's why the rug's there. And now when I view houses for myself, if I can, without being rude, I lift up things, move things to make sure there's no damage, which I would later find out once I've moved in. But yes, that's a great bit of advice. One less car. If anyone in the Gloucester, Cheltenham area looking for a good solicitor, ours has far exceeded our expectations. We have never had. Great. So as a whole, solicitors are slow. Conveyancers are slow. But if you've got a good one and can recommend them, then yeah, pop your email address, or I'm not sure if you can direct message on here. I don't know how things work. But the one I use is a company called Juno, based in London, Juno, and I can get you 250 quid off if you come via myself. I've got a great relationship with the co-founder. We have chats every couple of weeks on how we can improve the experience, and gets my advice, and we bounce ideas off each other. So really good company. But yeah, it's very important you do speak to a good conveyancer, really good conveyancer. Excuse me. We were cash buyers, but not on a new build. It has just taken us 3.5 months to complete, and this was on a vacant property with probate already organised. So for me, 3.5 months, I would love my deals to be taking 3.5 months. That's how it took before COVID. So 2019, we would normally budget 10, 12 weeks for a house sale to go through. And that is now 16, 20, 24 weeks now. It's absolutely nuts. I'm glad you got in 3.5 months. Although you should have been, chain free, probate out, should have been smooth. And I'm glad it was for you. Glad it was. AJ, same in Luton also. The only house price dropping is the overprice. I think this is why I've tried to steer away from the doom and gloom as much as possible. Not because I don't think certain things can happen, but I think when some news outlets and influencers are saying prices are going to drop by 20%, and then saying if there's any homeowners watching, reduce your price by 20%, I think it's probably the wrong way to go about it, because there's no blanket answer or thing to do for everyone. If you need to buy a house and can afford to buy a house, you're going to be there for a long time, then there is no reason why you shouldn't buy. If you're buying an investment to flip, then that's a different story, but you've got to take it on a person by person basis, because it's an incredibly personal decision to buy or sell a house, and also very unique to the area you're buying, the road you're buying, even the house you're buying. So and to say Luton is still rather buoyant by the look of it. Umit, sorry I'm late. Don't you worry, my friend. Don't you worry. Good to see you. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't liked the stream, please do. Basic Seven, how you doing? You all right? Haley, hope you're well. I'm doing okay. Do you recommend independent valuation despite lender valuation coming back okay? Lender did valuation before the interest rates went up, so not sure if they got it right. Well, I think you can pay for a valuation if you want to, another one. That will probably cost you a couple of £100. If you're hoping for it to come down or be downvalued, then it's pretty difficult to do that once the mortgage company have said it's worth what you're buying. If you then get a home buyer survey that goes around and finds problems as well as values it lower, then you've got some factual evidence to try and renegotiate on the house price. I'll be very surprised if a vendor, knowing that you've got your mortgage offer or the mortgage valuation is coming at one price and you want to reduce because a home buyer survey says something different, I would look to get home buyers to make sure there's no problems with the property. And if there is, you can then look to renegotiate because of those problems. But yeah, generally, I would say, excuse me, if the mortgage valuations come back all right, then the price is probably right. And you've got to be careful, any major changes in prices. So you get 10% off the asking price if you do have a home buyer survey done and it comes down lower. There's a chance that your lender may need you to go through a whole new mortgage offer to get it at the new price. They may not just adjust the price you're paying to it. They may ask you to do a whole new mortgage application, and you may not get excuse me, that low rate that you've got at the moment. I'm going to have another sip of drink, guys, because I can see my voice is going again. But yeah, you've got a mortgage. Do you want to risk losing it? So if the bank are happy with the price, basic surfer, I'll probably say it's probably right. It's probably right. So seems to be the way it is now, chasing the solicitors. Think if we left it to them, you would never move. That is I think you would eventually. But yeah, I think if you're not at the top of their pile, you sometimes may get forgotten for people that are calling regularly. So if you do call regularly, I'd imagine a solicitor will want to get you off their case. So get you exchanged as soon as possible. But yeah, you do need a degree of get up and go and get your updates from the solicitors. Neffy, welcome. Don't think I recognise you, so welcome to the channel. If you haven't liked the stream, please do, and subscribe if you haven't already. Our interest rates and mortgage is improving too. So if you missed earlier on in the stream, there's some news which hasn't been widely reported as much as other news, is that Virgin, NatWest, Darlington Bank, and there was another one, have actually reduced their mortgage rates over the last few days. Some have reduced them by 0.6%. So quite a decent drop. So they're coming down a little bit, but that could change because interest rates will go up again tomorrow. The Bank of England rates will go up again tomorrow, and we'll see how those banks react. The broker I spoke to seems to think that lenders have already built into their current mortgage rates a few more increases. So we shouldn't be, according to him, seeing larger or more higher interest rates than what they are at the moment. He could be wrong, but that's the vibe that he's getting from the people he's speaking to in the mortgage world and in the lending world. Bob James, hi Lee, what are your views on Moving Home with Charlie on YouTube? I watch most of his stuff when I can. Not all of his live streams, because sometimes at 11:30 at night and I'm tucked up in bed. I think what he says, a lot of it is useful stuff, very useful stuff. He has information that some other people don't have. Like I have some information that he doesn't have, and he has a lot of information that I don't have or don't have access to. But he's one of the ones that was predicting 2030. I think he said 50% at one point drop in house prices, and he gives a lot of broad advice on not to buy now, to wait to certain dates. Me personally, I don't think giving that advice sits well with me, because again, I think it's a much more of an individual choice whether you should buy a house or sell a house right now. I don't think there's a blanket answer of what to do and not to do. Some people need to move, some people need to buy, and advising people to do that or sort of to not do that could be detrimental. I know his counter argument is worst case scenario, you don't get negative equity, but there's other effects of not doing what you need to do. Mental health, money, all those sorts of things. So, but no, he does have a lot of good stuff, and I like how he doesn't take any bullshit from anyone. He gets criticised a lot, but he stands up for what he believes in, and I admire that. And he's a good person. I think anyway. I think he seems it. But I just prefer to deliver my message a bit differently to him, and I think that's perfectly acceptable. We've both got different views on how we want to portray the information we're giving out. You may think that I'm a bit more optimistic than Charlie, he's more pessimistic, but I just report what I'm experiencing in my town, and some of you guys are experiencing exactly the same or completely different. So having a one answer fits all for the property market, I personally don't feel comfortable in giving. But if that's what he wants to do, then yeah, he's got to go for it. Makes sense. I hope it did. I felt I rabbited on a little bit, so I hope it did make sense. Eva Sasha 1. Don't recognise you. Hello. I've been offering on a house since it came on the market in July, but the seller keeps putting the property on hold with the estate agent. Does this happen often? Have you been given a reason as to why the owner keeps sort of delaying things and sort of jumping back and forth? Is it because they haven't found somewhere? Are they struggling to get finances themselves? I don't get too many people, too many sellers changing their mind at the moment. The people that are putting their house on the market and looking to buy generally are serious buyers, either having a real need to move or a very strong want to move. And I'm not experiencing too many people doing that. I did have a case last week where we sold their house at the asking price, the vendor's house at the asking price, who then a week later decided to stay put because they couldn't find anywhere. My personal opinion was I would have waited a bit longer, than a week to try and find somewhere else, but they felt like they couldn't find anything better than what they had already, so decided to stay put. So it does happen. But yeah, I'm not sure how widespread that is, Eva. So whereabouts are you in the world? Let me know. Right, let's have a look at this poll. So out of the 81 votes, great turnout. Are you more optimistic about buying now that house prices are starting to come down? So out of 81 people, 41% of you said yes, 59% of you still hesitant to buy. And I want to put a question to you there. Is that because of interest rates, cost of living? I'm not talking about the cost of the mortgage, but utility bills, food, stuff like that. Why are you not more optimistic now that house prices have seemingly come down a little bit? Share that with me. And again, like the stream if you haven't already. That would be great. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask me, ask the community? Because we are approaching that magical hour mark now where I go and spend some time with the wife, because she's sitting in there at the moment, all lonely, needing some company. So if no one has any more questions, I will call it a day. Here we go. Amar. Hi Lee, we're almost at completion, exchanging documents now, then got to determine a completion date. Thanks for all your help. No problem at all, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. And I do hope you come back once you have completed and let us know how moving day went. If you're a bit more prepared than Aaron, who didn't have anything to move into his new property with. So, but yeah, come back. And if you would want to share your experience on a live chat with other people to watch, then yeah, please do, guys. Please do. It'd be really good to just to share your experiences. Right, if that's it, guys, I'm going to give my voice a rest. Thank you so much for watching. I'm on TikTok now at Everett Property. So if you want to follow me on that, I'm doing a few. I've done one so far. It's got 510 views. I'm well happy with that. Please do. If you want to take me up on my house buying service, email me lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. Or if you want a quote from my conveyancer, fantastic conveyancer with £250 discount, email me lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. One more question has just come in, which we'll just touch on from Neffy. Thanks for the information so far. Do you see prices in London dipping? I feel like it's negligible and always would be. Anything is possible. Anything. In fact, the last 2 years has taught us anything is possible. Prices, the amount of money that prices in London drop or go up is always more, because generally they're higher ticket properties. They're worth more money. So a 1% drop in London would be 50, 60, 70,000 pounds, whereas a 1% drop in my town would be 20,000 pounds. So it will be depending on whereabouts you are. And whether we're talking percentage terms or monetary terms, but generally percentage terms will be the same as anywhere else, but monetary terms, it will be a lot more money coming off or going up if prices in London do change, good or bad. You are more than welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully next week the voice will be back. Thanks again. And again, email me if you have any questions and I'll get around to answering if we didn't cover it in the live stream or it's a little bit too sensitive. You don't want to sort of put too much information out. lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. Thank you again. As always, guys, it's been a pleasure and I'll see you next week. Take care.